All money in and money out. Running in, but I need my hands. All money in.
Okay. Can you just give me a rundown on how sex trafficking in Las Vegas works,
All right.
or some of your experience if you've had any?
All right, got you. So, in my experience right now, what I've personally seen on my own eyes, right? So, and I'll give it to you from my standpoint. So, when me and her came out here, we were into a lifestyle with, a sexual lifestyle. All right. People that go and delve into those worlds right there, you have other people that go there just for that reason. And what I mean by that reason, you got people that go to them sex clubs and shit like that to network, so to speak. All right. That saying loose lips sink ships is what sunk mine, and that's why I say, because outside of that, people were saying that I've personally seen their encounter with, how you this and that and the third. I'm giving them my information more or less, like me and her out here from across the country. All right, so that's the number one thing that you shouldn't do, is telling people where you're from and who you know out here and all of that type of shit, because they find out you're not from out here, you and another female. The whole objective now is to get rid of you. So whatever your wants, what I mean by naps is whatever your wants, your desires, they make sure that they give it to you. They make sure it's always going to be there. You wonder how you're able to, if you fuck with the work, you fuck with the cribs, you fuck with the pills, sometimes you ask yourself, how do I always have this every day? Because they make sure it's available to you. They put people in your path for this reason. They befriend you. Somebody slow, low, somebody on your time frame or how you move or watch it, whatever, and you'll encounter so many different people. And as you're weeding them out, they've already collected enough from you, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
More or less. So as you're giving out this information, you tell people about yourself, you feel a little bit more comfortable trying to meet people. That's what it all came down to, is trying to meet people and like-minded people that are into the same things. Because back on the East Coast, I did the same thing, but that's how I was able to end up with the job I was, the places I was, because even though we do this on the side, over here, we do this for fun, but over here, we about business. Out here, it's something different. They're really looking for fresh faces, new. So they get that part of you. Then they pretty much, from there, they have several people start watching your movies. If you live on this strip and they see that you freaky, you're a creature of habit, so to speak. You go from here to here, here to here, here. But trust me when I say, they got people that watch that. And over time, they make the decision. The first encounter we had, I told her I'd be right back. I went to the bus stop. I went across the street to the bus stop. A nigga tried to take her walker. Not her walker, but her purse. What it was what I like to call is checking the temperature. See how fast, how close, and all this type of shit. She did that. I was right there. Boom. Go a little bit further. Same thing happens. It happened to us so many times, and I wasn't even aware, more or less, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on around me. For some reason, the first time it ever happened, but I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. And more or less, that's what they were doing. They were checking the temperature, watching my movements. I like pussy, I like sex, I like these things, the things I like. So some of the females that I was intrigued with or I spoke to trying to get them to come, all of a sudden now these females are coming. You got some people I like to call salt layers, where they get a little bit of information like me out here doing this, he's gonna throw salt to get her to commit to something over here. All in all, it doesn't have to be that way. Once she makes that commitment that she's going to delve with this individual, it's a wrap. That individual then in turn, whatever her nabs, whatever her wants, whatever her desires, he makes sure he isolates her and gives her this, that on a regular basis. And at that point, he puts her so far behind the 8 ball that she ain't got no way out. She's gonna accept this many gifts, accept this many drugs, accept this much money, and all this, to the point where now the nigga's like, yo, I need some of this back. She don't know how to come and explain to me what the fuck she did. Or, not even in my situation, but other people don't know how to explain it, instead of just saying, look, I'm in this situation. My last encounter with her, we had a date, we had a little thing over at the hotel, this Desert Moon out here. We were there for that night. The next morning, I noticed there was some dude at the top of the alley who just kept clocking. I've seen this nigga on a regular basis. She said, I'm gonna run to the house. I'll be right back. She go up to the house. I got an encrypted message, if that makes any sense. What I mean is our emails are tied in together. So whatever she puts in her search engine, it shows up in my search engine. It shows up as Christian history or recent searches. I need help. Get up here. These were the type of jokes I was seeing up in this joint. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Didn't pay no attention to it. But then something told me, my sixth sense just told me, man, go up there, check the house. When I looked in the house, somebody had been in there, bum rushed, yoked her ass up. I mean, there was a cigarette still burning in an ashtray. All her clothes was out. I mean, everything was still there. They straight yoked her up, took her on. What they did from there was leave the image that she was basically running from me. And anybody that knows my situation or anybody that knows me knows that that's not possible, because the female that I'm talking about is one of those scary females. She doesn't like to go too many places without me, or she's too scared to go out walking about by herself because of people following her. And this is what things that she's always telling me. People are always following her, and this and the third. We had instances in our apartment complex where people were trying to break into our spot. But all in all, what I found out was they were trying to get rid of me. And this was coming from her. I got a message from her recently. And basically that's what she was saying, was like, you know, the reason why everything happened the way it happened was because if I didn't come, they were going to kill you. And she said, I opted to go this way because I didn't want nothing to happen to you.
Okay. All right. I'm so sorry to cut you off. So let me just get this straight here. So you were with the female. You guys were together. The female ended up being abducted, right? And you were able to retrieve the messages. And she basically said that she went with the abductors because if not, they were going to come after you. And they basically abducted her to get her into sex trafficking. Am I following you?
More or less like this, right? To a degree. And when I say, all right, when I was telling people locally around here that, like I said, we were looking for like-minded people to do swing and shit like that. So when we're telling people, like, we like to make videos and we like this, as we're telling this, trying to get people to feel comfortable, hey, come on over here, some of the wrong individuals or the people of their eyes were catching this, and they were actually befriending us and putting themselves in a position to hear this come out of our mouths. Once we opened that door, the energy, the people that we were receiving, everybody wasn't there. A lot of these people were wolves in sheep's clothing. They were presenting it to be this and that just so they could get close enough. And then it was about a dividing. What I mean dividing is the shit that I was doing without her, they were putting it in her ear. They were providing her the things that she wanted, saying, you don't need him.
To separate the two,
you two. Separate it, to cause a kind of discord between us, to a separation, just enough. And you don't need much. You don't need much.
Yeah, because if they were wanting to get her into sex trafficking, it would be harder with you in the picture.
Exactly.
So they get rid of you, that way they could
put it like this,
use
right?
her.
Everybody that I've encountered knows how intelligent I am. And I see shit that other people don't see. Back when I was first, when I was younger, I used to be out on the East Coast. I used to be in Baltimore. And one of the things that I did for my cousin, I was a lookout. He told me what to watch out for, the type of people to look out for, and the type of energy that they bring. You know what I'm saying? So since I've been out here, I've always had this, I don't trust this situation, I don't trust this person, I don't like the way this nigga, I don't like the way he's moving, I move differently than everybody out here. There was things that I was seeing that couldn't be explained, but I knew what it was. And because of her, the reassurance from other people that I was tripping, for the first time in my life, I disregarded all of it. But everything that I sensed and everything I was feeling and I was seeing was exactly the way it was. They were doing this, they were following. So just recently I got a phone call from whoever, and she's Owen or whoever she worked from, and said this was a courtesy call and it's the only way you're gonna get. For me to back up, stop asking questions, stop looking, stop this. You ain't gonna see her again, you ain't gonna that. You're not gonna get this, you're not gonna get that. All right.
Trying to scare you away.
Trying to scare me away. Basically, they have it set up right now that if anything happens to her, it's going to look like I did something to her. Because of all the pushing and asking and the moves that I was making and inquiring about certain things. The worst part about it is all the people that I was asking about it, did they know this and that and the third? They're involved. There are females that I've run across here lately that when they give me their number's already in my fucking phone. There are males that I've run across here lately. When I get their number, when they pass me swap information, their number's already in my shit. Like I said, our accounts are tied together. So when she puts something new in hers, it shows up on mine and vice versa. To this day, there's still shit being uploaded. I can show you 150 contacts. They have a site called Tag, and that's what everybody out here uses. And basically on Tag, you can get anything you want, from sex, drugs, to anything. When I say anything, I mean anything.
Kind of like a kick number.
Nah, this is Kick 2040 and we in 2023, feel me? Like, bro, I just found out about this shit. And like I said, I've been so far out because I'm on a different level, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the streets, but I'm not like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't did mine, I didn't put myself out there, I didn't saw this, I didn't seen that. So I choose, when I see these things, to move in a different direction. I'm not knocking nobody for what they do and how they do it, because I get high. Not gonna lie, and that's what opened that fucking door. That's what killed me right there. So as I'm seeing these things and shit's going on, I got that one track mind. They were all able to, and it's all the people that I say that, you know, they say that they fuck with you. They this, they that, they this. Nah, they ain't really fucking with you, nigga. They want that. They tune you out the way. And that's pretty much how it all happens. You know what I'm saying? Is kept going, kept pushing, and kept pushing, and kept pushing. They got me out the way.
So let me ask you, what would you say to anyone on the streets that could be a potential victim of sex trafficking? What would you say how to protect themselves? Is there any safe places in the city or here downtown they can go to get help?
This one's gonna shock you right here. This one, for people that ain't from out here in Las Vegas. Okay, let me tell you something. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, you can Google them, and you can look at it on YouTube channel. They're not going to do shit. Okay, like I was saying, there were instances where our house was being broke into, and the police told us, if the situation continues or changes, call us back. And I'm telling them, bitch, they're outside my fucking door, in my window right now. They just busted the window out. Okay, the only way you can protect yourself is either you're moving in packs or you're staying strapped. But your head needs to stay on a swivel at all times, because the motherfucker that's watching you ain't watching you for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Watching you for no reason. 9 times out of 10, when they got their eye on you, you'll start seeing this person over here, and over there, and over there. You're gonna start seeing, and all they gotta do is pay attention, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll start running across this person until sooner or later, the individual's gonna introduce himself to you, and it's always the smooth ones. You know what I'm saying? I tell any female, if that ain't what you want, don't be subjective to thinking that you're gonna come to Vegas and everything's gonna stay in Vegas. Because your ass is gonna stay in Vegas, all right, but you're gonna be working for somebody. You know, plain and simple. I don't know how to protect you against it. I don't know how they can protect themselves unless they just don't have the conversation.
You know what I feel like? I feel like sex trafficking is one of those things that we know it exists and we know it is happening, but I feel like it's one of those things that we don't know the magnitude or how bad it really is.
Let me tell you this, right? Let me tell you this. When I say that this hand stretches out so far, it stretches out so far. We talking about, in order for what I've encountered and from what I've seen, for it to exist and move the way it does, there has to be somebody in a high place protecting and making sure. There's no wonder that the governor's family is still now the sheriff or the mayor of this town. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's a reason why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They keep everything like this so everything can stay. People gotta realize about Las Vegas, Nevada was founded by who? The mob. So this city was built on corruption from the jump, and it's never going to be anywhere. They were the first ones that legalized prostitution, where nowhere else in America does. The oldest tradition, the oldest money-making joint in the world is prostitution. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? They cornered the market with gambling. Everything that everybody wants, they can come here and do. And they got to worry about going to jail for it, where you're going to go to jail for it everywhere else. And that's what makes it so easy to maneuver. You try to go report this joint, the police be like, oh, your girl left you, or your husband left you. No, they didn't. You know what I'm saying? No, they didn't. Plain and simple. Sometimes they do, but more than likely, no, they didn't. They just got themselves caught up in something, and at the end of the day, you owe, you don't have enough to pay it off. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, and that comes to another thing. These females, when a motherfucker offers you something out here for free, don't take it.
It's never for free.
It's gonna cost you one way or another.
Yeah.
One way or another, it's gonna cost you. You may pay for it then, or you're gonna pay for it from home. But you're gonna pay for it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So.
All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you. I liked hearing your story. Sex trafficking is something that I've always been very interested in. So we appreciate you talking with us today, and you just be safe out here. And
Say the same thing.
maybe we'll have a part 2, and hopefully maybe there'll be some a better outcome of the story that you
Well,
told.
you know, I'm gonna say like this when it comes down to that story. Me personally, I don't have no support system. I have to leave that situation alone because, like I said, I was told straight up that I have to leave it alone. I'm asking questions.